Cumbria is England's second largest county. It has its highest peaks and its deepest lakes, and an unrivaled variety of landscapes. And the reason for that diversity? It's rocks.
I'm Ian Jackson, a geologist born and raised in Cumbria. To celebrate the 60th anniversary of Cumbria Wildlife Trust, I've just written a book about those rocks.
This isn't a typical geology book. It's a picture book with 60 short stories in plain English about 60 extraordinary places and the connection between their rocks, wildlife, history and us. Together they tell the story of the Cumbrian landscape.
Cumbria's rocks span 485 million years of Earth's history, from the time when life in ancient oceans was exploding, through periods of scorching red deserts and sub-zero ice ages, right up to today, and the sediments being deposited in our rivers, lakes and seas.
The book will take you to hidden corners where you can still see the leaves and trunks of plants and trees that lived over 300 million years ago. Walk over crags where rivers as broad as the Amazon once flowed into coral seas. Discover caves that were once a red-hot desert, or visit a nature reserve that 180 million years ago was Cumbria's Jurassic Park. If volcanoes and molten rock excite you, then Cumbria is the best place in England to experience their impact. From the explosive rocks and collapsed calderas of the Scafell Range, to massive spreads of lava and ash, and injections of billions of tons of molten magma right under our feet.
And if you think that earthquakes are something that never happened here, take a trip to the Bent Rocks of Brampton.
Or be amazed at the upended limestones on our border with Scotland, or the corrugated slates beside the A6 at Shap Summit that were once mud at the bottom of a deep ocean. You could drive over Hardside Pass and cross Cumbria's version of the San Andreas Fault. In every part of our county is evidence of how our climate has changed dramatically, from valleys, ridges and tarns carved out by massive glaciers just 20,000 years ago, to limestone pavements and caves, and some of the largest lowland peat bogs in the country, less than 10,000 years old. Our relationship with rocks goes back to our Stone Age ancestors. The beautiful axes of Langdale, the stone circles of Castlerig and Long Meg. Later it was our exploitation of coal and minerals that put bread on our tables. Our wonderful variety of stone is reflected in the architecture of our towns and villages. Rocks even influence our art and poetry. Without our distinctive rocks, our heritage would be completely different. And the connection to wildlife? Rocks are the literal bedrock for all our habitats. Our rich biodiversity is a product of our rich geodiversity. Cumbria's rocks are an integral part of the job of the Wildlife Trust, which conserves and protects them, and the landscapes and the environment that they underpin.
When I was a boy growing up in Carlisle, I was full of wonder about the county I lived in. Why is that hill that shape? What's that rock made of? Did mammoths or dinosaurs ever live here? Like most scientists, I guess, as we get older, we forget the deceptively simple questions that made us curious and full of wonder when we were younger.
So I decided to produce a book that helped answer people's questions. I wanted to make the stories our landscape has to tell accessible for everyone and more relevant. Pull on your boots and go see for yourself. Go walk over old volcanoes and deep oceans. Be amazed by the power of ancient earthquakes. Hike over a hill that was once a coral sea. Witness the awesome force of the last ice age, or simply marvel at the ingenuity of our ancestors who used these rocks in so many ways to create our shared heritage. Get to know the Cumbria beneath your feet. You won't regret it.